Hello everyone, good afternoon, and I welcome you all to Civil's Mentorship. In continuation of the last video, we are beginning a 100-day initiative under phase 1 of our program. So what is phase 1? Now phase 1 is nothing but that in this 100 days, this particular series is designed to in such a way that it will give you a structured preparation plan, both combining both prelims and mains, and along with that CSAT, essay as well as current affairs. So initially in our last video we discussed about that we will be covering the previous year questions from prelims perspective, but it will not be the case. So in this 100 days we will be covering the PYQs from prelims perspective, from mains perspective, from CSAT also. We will be covering the PYQs with for all the CSAT related questions. Along with that, we will be covering essay topics as well. Like what are the essay topics that came in our last 13 years of the UPSC mains papers. And along with that, we will be covering current affairs as well. So what is the agenda for today's video? So what are the topics that we will be discussing in today's video? Let's see one by one. So first of all, the agenda for today's video is we will discuss that what will be covered in phase 1 of this. So as I am mentioning that it will be a 100 days program. So what exactly we will be covering in this phase 1? Secondly, what will be the duration of phase 1? Thirdly, we will be discussing the trend analysis of prelims PYQs. So trend analysis means based on the last 13 years paper, we will get an idea that how the questions are being framed. Like from which particular topic they have focused more and which they have focused a bit less. Next, based on that trend analysis, we will discuss a block-wise study plans for prelims. Now, what do we mean by block-wise study plans? Now, based on the trend analysis, by analyzing the last 13 years paper, we will be seeing that which particular topic they are asking more questions and which topic they are asking less number of questions. So, based on that, we will strategize our prelims preparation. And lastly, we will discuss about the polity syllabus, but from prelims perspectives. So in this video, we will be discussing the polity syllabus from prelims perspective. And finally, we will be seeing the trend analysis of polity from prelims perspectives, like from which chapter they are asking more questions and from which chapter they are asking not much questions. So based on that, we will be strategizing our prelims preparation. So without wasting any more time, let's begin. So first of all, we will see that what are the topics that we will be covering in this 100 days. So as I discussed or as I said earlier that we will be covering multiple things in this 100 days. So what are those? Firstly, we will be covering the prelims PYQs from 2013 to till 2025. So these many last 13 years papers we will be covering. So we will be covering each and every question that they have asked in the last 13 years. So what is the benefit of covering this particular papers? Like after covering 13 years of papers, what will we get? Or how it will benefit in our preparation? First of all, we will be able to understand the themes, like from which particular topic they are asking. It's not that they are asking from any part of the syllabus. No, they are asking from certain specific parts from the syllabus itself. But we need to identify that which are those parts. So basically, we will be understanding the themes while we solve these particular papers. And secondly, based on those themes or based on our understanding or based on what topics UPSC is asking questions, we will be preparing our short notes. Because before prelims, we will not be having much time to go through the entire syllabus again. So we need to revise in a quick span of time, and for that to happen we need short notes. So while we are solving the prelims PYQs, we will be preparing short notes as well, which will be helpful for us during the, like suppose for example, just 1 week before the exam. So these short notes only will help us to revise the things. So this is all about the prelims PYQs. Next is mains PYQ. So similar to prelims PYQ, we will be doing mains PYQs as well, and that too from 2013 till 2025. Again over here also same thing. After solving the mains PYQs, what are the things that we will be able to identify? Similar thing to prelims. We will be able to understand the themes, like from which particular topic UPSC is asking what type of question. So that will be helpful for us to understand the examiner's mindset or the question setter's mindset, that this particular topic they are asking, and in this way the questions are being framed. This is why understanding the themes is very much important. And similar to that, in mains PYQ also, while we will be solving the PYQs, we will prepare one-pager notes as well of all the topics, which will be helpful for us. See, practically speaking, after prelims, we will not be having much time left for mains. Hardly we will be having 85 to 90 days. Now, in those 90 days, if your one-pager notes are prepared now itself, it will help you during those 90 days. So, in those 90 days, you can focus yourself on value addition and answer writing. In those 90 days, you no need to prepare the notes again, because it will be a waste of time for that. So if you can prepare your notes now itself, which will be helpful for you during your revision period. And thirdly, along with prelims GS PYQs and mains GS PYQs, we will be solving the CSAT PYQs as well, and that too from 2013 till 2025. In this CSAT PYQs, we will be solving all the three parts, like the comprehension, the passages that came from 2013 to 2025, the logical reasoning questions that came, the quant questions that came. So in this way, we will get an idea that what type of questions UPSC is asking for from this particular topic or from the GS paper 2 syllabus. So hope you understood that what are the topics or how we will be going to practice the CSAT part. Next part is we will also practice the essays as well, and that too from 2013 till 2025. So whatever essays or how many number of essays that came from 2013 till 2025, we will be solving each and every essay. We will write it over here. Like I will show whatever essays that I have written, I will show it to you, and then we can do a peer review as well. You can also write and then you can upload it over here, then we can do a peer review. So like this it can help both of us. So essay also we will practice. And finally, last but not the least, we will be doing current affairs as well. From what will be the timeline for the current affairs? Na January 2025 till date. That means till December or till the first phase of our preparation ends. Till that time, we will be doing our current affairs. Now, how we will be doing? It's not that we will be doing it in a random manner. Now, it will be integrated with the relevant topics. Now, what does this mean? Suppose example, in a newspaper, we came across an article where they are discussing about anti-defection law, which is mentioned in our 10th schedule. So whenever we will be doing that particular topic, anti-defection law, we will be integrating that current affairs as well. Like suppose for example, when we will be doing the topic on election, so in that particular topic, we will be integrating the SIR related current affairs as well. So that's how we will be integrating the current affairs, so that they are, see, I believe that current affairs is not a separate subject. It is part of your GS subject only. So why to prepare it separately? Instead of that, whenever we are dealing or whenever we are doing a particular topic, we will get to know that, or we will see that whether any current affairs related news came up or not during this span of time. If any news is there, then we will integrate it in our notes. That's how we will be dealing with it. And one more thing, the current affairs will be based on both prelims and mains perspective. That means we will see the analysis part, analytical part as well, along with the static part. So this is how the entire phase we will be doing it. And what will be the duration of this one? As I mentioned that it will be a 100 days program. So it will start from today onwards. So it started from today onwards and today is 8th of September. So that means continuously every day we will be doing one topic or the other. So it will 100 days, that means it is till 16th of December. So by 16th of December, if you see what are the topics that you would have covered. First of all, you will be covering all the prelims PYQs, that is from 2013 till 2025. You would have written all the mains PYQs, that is from 2013 till 2025. You would have covered all the CSAT PYQs as well of last 13 years. Along with that, you would have covered all the essay, or you would have written all the essay topics as well for last 13 years that came in the last 13 years. And along with that, you will be up to date with your current affairs as well. So in these 100 days, you will be doing all these things. I will be doing all these things along with you, or rather we can say that we both will be doing all these things in these 100 days. So hope you understood that what will be the coverage, or how we will be doing in what are the things that we will be doing in these 100 days. Now, as per the agenda, so we have discussed what are the things that we have discussed now. So we have discussed that what are the topics that we will be covering in this 100 days. That is covered. Next is, we have also discussed that what will be the duration. So the duration will be from today onwards, that is 8th of September onwards till 16th of December. So by December, everything will be sorted out. And from January, we will start the phase 2 of this one. So we will be doing it in 3 parts. Phase 1 is till December. From January onwards, January, February, March will be phase 2, and April will be April till your prelims. I think prelims is on 20th of May or 24th of May. So by that time, it will be phase 3. So in this way, we will be segregating our preparation. So hope you understood. Now moving on to the next phase, which is the trend analysis of prelims PYQs. So let's see what is the trend. Now, so this is the number of questions that has been asked from 2013 till 2025. Now from here, what are the things that we have observed it? Firstly, let's go subject wise. Firstly, polity. So if you see polity, now polity, if you see this one, so polity, if we see that every year the number of questions ranges between 13 to 15 like that. So generally it is stable between 12 to 15 questions, but only in 2017 the number of questions 22 questions came in 2017. But apart from except 2017, in all other years, especially if I take a look in the recent years, so every time it is somewhere around 12 to 15 questions are coming. So polity is almost stable. Now next comes history. Now in this history topic, I have included ancient history, medieval history, modern history, as well as art and culture as well. So if we see over here, so every time from all these topics, we are getting approx 14 to 15 questions. Now in this year, that is last year's prelims, 18 questions came. But only in 1 year, which is 2018, 29 questions came from this particular topic, history, which comprised of ancient, medieval, modern, as well as art and culture. Now next comes geography. Now geography, usually the range is between 9 to 14 questions if we see, with peaks of 16 in 2015. So in 2015, if we see that 16 questions came, in 2022 and 23 also 16 questions came. Now in geography, what are the questions that are included? The places in news as well as mapping related questions are also included in geography. So from here we can get to know that from geography approx 10 to 12 questions, if I take average of last 5 years questions or rather last 13 years questions, we will see that on an average approx 10 to 12 questions are coming from geography. Next is economy. From economy, what are the means how many number of questions are coming? So from 2016 to 2018, if you see in these 3 years, approximately 16 to 18 questions came. But after that, if you see, approx 14 to 15 questions are coming. So on an average, we can say that approx 12 to 14 questions are coming from economy section. Next is environment, which is very much unpredictable in nature. So because if we see that from 2013 to 2016, in these 4 years, 18 to 20 questions are coming. But again, after that, if you see only 11, 10, this type of questions are coming. But again, it increased on from 21 to 23. That is, if you see 23, 24, 25, also the number of questions got increased. So it is very unpredictable in nature, the environment section. Now, science and tech. So in science and tech, again, it's a very unpredictable paper. So always moderate around a 7 to around 10 to 14 questions are coming from this particular science and technology section. And lastly, it is current affairs, so which is obviously it will be fluctuating in nature. So on an average, we are getting approx of 14 to on an average, we are approximately getting 15 to 20 questions. So this is the trend analysis of our UPSC Prelims PYQs subject-wise from last 13 years. So what are the observations that we can make from here? So this clearly shows that UPSC does not treat all subjects equally, because if you see that in one particular year, from one subject the number of questions came much more as compared to the other subject. So UPSC does not treat all subjects equally. So some areas constantly dominate. Now these are, if we see the total number of questions that came, if you see from polity as of now, that means from 2013 to 2025, 13%. So that means how many number of questions are there? From 2013 to 2025, 13 years question. And each paper is having 100 questions. So that means 1300 questions. So out of 1300 questions, polity is having 13% of the paper. Similarly, history is having 18% of the paper. Geography is having 12% of the paper. Next, economy is having 14%. Environment is having 16%. Science and tech is having 10%. And current affairs 17%. So from here we can get an idea that from which subject the more number of questions came, based on which we can streamline our preparation. That okay, we need to focus more on this particular subject, which is, see, suppose for example environment. Now environment is very much unpredictable in nature. Okay, a static part also comes, dynamic part also comes. But if I compare environment and polity, which subject more number of questions will come from environment only, that is true. But which is much more easier to score? Obviously polity. So in this way we need to strategize, or we need to streamline our preparation. Now to make our preparation easier, we have grouped the subjects into 3 simple blocks. That is, see, this is the trending nature, similar to the above tables only. So these are the observations that whatever we have discussed. Now to make our preparation easier, as I mentioned, that we have grouped the subjects into 3 categories. First is the core scoring block. Okay. First is the core scoring block. Second is the heavyweight block. And third is the supportive block. Now what are these things? Now these are nothing but the core scoring block. Now as I mentioned that previously, that from polity section, the number of questions almost remains stable. It is conceptual and more or less it is overlapping with our mains papers. Okay, so number of questions remains almost stable. Now economy also, it is reliable, almost stable only number of questions. So it is conceptual in nature and we can link it with current affairs as well. Modern history is again nothing but number of questions are high, directly factual, plus sometimes it conceptual mix also is there. So from this particular section, if we go through the previous year papers, we will see that approximately 35 to 40% of the paper comes from this three section itself. So now you got it right, that how much important is this particular these three papers are. That if you can score well, out suppose example 40 percentage, that means out of 100, 40 marks are coming from these three papers. If you can score approximately 70 to 80 percentage, which will help you to clear the cutoffs. That's it. So if you can master this block 1, you will be in a good shape or you will be in a good position to clear your prelims. Because in this way, this is a stable paper, these three papers. Now coming to the block 2. Now what is there in block 2? Block 2 is environment and ecology, ancient history, medieval history and art and culture. Now this block is highly unpredictable in nature. Now, as I mentioned that this block can swing your score up or down depending on your preparation. Because honestly speaking, how much you prepare ancient or medieval history, it's really tough to score all the questions correct from this particular topic, or at least score more than 80 percentage. If I compare polity with ancient and medieval history, if you ask anyone, they will recommend the same thing, that you can score approx 80 percentage from polity section rather from this ancient and medieval history section. So this particular topic, these two topics comprises approximately 25 to 30 percentage of the paper. So if you can score at least 50 or at least 50 percentage, so that means, see, from the first block you are scoring approx 80 percentage. Like suppose out of 40 you are scoring 32, okay? And from here you are scoring 15 percentage. And the last is the supportive block which will help you to clear the cutoff. That is geography and science and tech. So these two part comprises of 20 percentage of the paper. So this particular block, as I mentioned, that this block will help you to clear your cutoff. So this block will give you that particular marks, that exactly that marks that you need to clear the cutoff. This block. So again, I will repeat the same thing, that if I categorize or if I block this per all the subjects into three structures or three blocks, we will see that these three subjects, that is polity, economy and modern history, questions are coming, almost number of questions remains remains stable in nature, and somewhat you can answer those questions. Now these three subjects, if you can score well, this will help you to clear the cutoff. So hope you understood this particular thing. So alright, now that we know that which blocks to prioritize and in what order, so now let's zoom into one of the most important subjects for prelims, that is polity. Now what is, as we mentioned that we will be discussing the syllabus of polity. Now what is the syllabus of polity that is mentioned in the syllabus? What are the topics that is mentioned in the syllabus? It is mentioned that Indian polity and governance. Okay, so this is the broad topic. In this topic, what are the things they will be asking for? They will be asking questions from constitution. They will be asking questions from political system. They will be asking questions from Panchayati Raj. Next comes public policy, rights, issues, and there is another thing called etc. Now what is etc.? What is this etc. all about? They can ask anything. So if they ask something which is not mentioned over here, that means that part is coming from this etc. part. So that's why this syllabus is not very much accurately mentioned, okay? So this is somewhat vague in nature. So that's why we will be preparing whatever preparation that we will be doing, it will be based on the main syllabus. But we will also see the prelim syllabus as well, because few of the topics which are there in the main syllabus are not there in our prelim syllabus. So what are the syllabus? What is the topics that is mentioned? What are the topics that is mentioned in the syllabus? Now, Indian polity and governance. So this is the main topic, okay? Indian polity and governance. Now, in this topic, what are the subtopics they have mentioned? They have mentioned constitution, political system, panchayati raj, public policy, rights issues, and etc. So, they can ask any questions in this etc. from this etc. part. So, now let's see that from which topic they have asked more number of questions. So, this is the chart from where last 13 years papers based on the trend analysis of last 13 years. So, we will see that from which topic they have asked the more number of questions. We can see that they have asked questions from governance part, government schemes or initiatives. Now, this is another block: fundamental rights, fundamental duties, and DPSP, and parliament. So, these four topics they have asked the most number of questions. So that means what? That means these are the high weight areas. That means more number of questions are coming from this topic. What are those? Now, fundamental rights and duties and DPSP as well. How many questions came? Now, approx 28. Next is governance part. How many number of questions came? Approx 28. Third part is government schemes and initiatives. So these are somewhat related to current affairs and the government schemes that has been there. So we can say that this is somewhat related to current affairs. And next is the another important part is the parliament. So these are the four topics from where questions, maximum number of questions came. Now next is the medium weight areas. So what are those? Now first is the political system. If you seen how many questions came, na 11 questions came. Next is executive. So where is executive? How many questions came? Na number 10 questions came. Third is the salient features of Indian Constitution. Again same 10 questions came. So and lastly we are having Indian judiciary. How many questions came? Na 9 questions came. So that means these are the medium weight areas. Somewhat questions are coming from these topics as well. And next is occasional areas. That means, okay, so questions might come. Occasionally questions comes. Say for example, preamble. How many questions came? Na 6 questions came from preamble. Amendments to the Indian Constitution. How many questions came? Na 6 questions. From elections, election topic, how many questions came? Na 4 questions. Center-state relations, how many questions came? Again 4 questions. Next is local government, which is panchayati raj. How many questions came? Na approx 4 questions. And lastly, the rare areas, that means rarely the questions came. So what are those? Now firstly, we are having the emergency provisions. How many questions came? Now only 2 questions came as of now. Next is the constitutional bodies. 2 questions came, and finally we are having citizenship, that is only 1 question came. So from this trend analysis we can get to know that which are the topics they are focusing more on. Now they are focusing more on the fundamental rights, on which topics? Now fundamental rights, fundamental duties and DPSP, parliament, governance, and so these are the topics which they are focusing more on. And next comes which topics? Now salient features of Indian Constitution, political systems, judiciary, executive. So these are the topics. So from here we can get an idea that okay, so UPSC is asking more number of questions from which topics, and from less which topic they are asking less number of questions. So in this way we can strategize our preparation. So hope you understood that how to strategize our preparation. So that's all for today. So this was the detailed trend analysis of polity and the areas we need to prioritize that most. So with that, we come to the end of today's session. Now, the document that we are discussing, or we will be discussing on a daily basis, will be uploaded in our Telegram channel, the link of which you will get it in the pinned comment below. And finally, So one important update is that from tomorrow onwards, as I discussed that from today onwards it started. So today we have discussed about the trend analysis. So we have got an idea that which topic they are asking more questions and which topic they are asking less. So from tomorrow onwards, we will begin with the first topic of polity, which is nothing but the basics of Indian Constitution. So with this, we will be starting with the polity topic. So how we will be going with our topics? Now first we will understand the basics of Indian Constitution, and along with that we will see that what are the questions that came from prelims and from mains perspective. So see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. sharp with the detailed video. Until then, keep revising and stay consistent. This is Civil's Mentorship signing off. Thank you.